Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, April 1st, 2022 at 2:49 a.m. in the morning. So I'm still up because they vibrated me so bad that, I guess they want to try to not allow me to get any sleep. So I realized that I have the camera turned the opposite way because they have that blue dot. So I wrote a couple of short stories. Well, no, I wrote one short story yesterday evening, and I wrote a few personal blogs and more journaling. Uh, So, yesterday, I had a couple of little instances, small little instances, but overall, I had a good day, except one person pissed me off really bad on Twitter, and I blocked that person. So, yesterday, I was able to successfully get my laundry done, but one motel perp neighbor, one of the ones who give me try to give me frightening and intimidating, threatening looks. You know, he was sitting outside in a chair right next to his motel room door, and he acted like he didn't want to tell me hi. And he was wearing red, like definitely a red shirt, but I think he was wearing all red or red and white or something. And then for a brief moment, he was, fiddling with his phone, and he turned the volume up on his phone, for about 30 seconds, and then turned it back down when I went to go and take my clothes out from the washer, to the dryer. So that was the only perp moment I had when I went to do my laundry. But thankfully, other than that, everything else went smoothly. So I got my laundry out of the way. And so then I I was blogging and journaling, and it wrote me a short story yesterday. And so when I made a comment about, like, I said, well, how am I supposed I said, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to react when if a guy wants to try to, talk sexually dirty at you and stuff like that. And then somebody who's supposed to be a targeted individual simply, you know, simply said, ignore. And so I blocked that motherfucker because, if you act like if my tweets disgust, like, as if my tweets get on your nerves or something. So you straight up say ignore, like as if I'm dumb and stupid and lack intelligence. So that pretty much had me riled up all evening. And it's like, how can you act like a narcissistic perp with that comment, with that rude ass comment? I wasn't talking to you, but how can you, have a rude ass comment and then making like as if you a victim of narcissistic abuse and a targeted individual, but then you come and tell me something rude. So I mean, it's like you tell me ignore, like as if I have. You say it in a way like as if I'm stupid and lack common sense, like as if I'm stupid to have the common sense to ignore, ignore that person. But I didn't really go into detail, but I was referring to, the ex-boyfriend that was trying to, trying to get back with me or whatever. But I got some questions to ask him, before I make a final determination or decision. And certain questions I got to ask him, I already know the answer to, and I kind of feel like as if, there's kind of no way for me to, end up getting back with him. And then, I love this city, and it's kind of close to my hometown, but I hate the people here. But but it's like, well, I'm not gonna say the state he lives in though, but um where he's at, I damn sure don't want to go live up there, because I remember, like, it's yesterday here in Pensacola. I felt like it was, I don't even know what the temperature was, but it wasn't 80 degrees, but I felt like, well, wow, it's a little bit hot. And I felt like it's, just about warm enough to get to go to the beach. And so then, um, I remember when I was living in Greenville, South Carolina, and it was May. And it was like May of 2016 or something. And I was, kind of new there, and I was homeless at the time. And the fake Salvation Army had us go to this little whatever conference or something like that, or seminar or something. And I think we went to the southern part, went on this trip to the southern part of the southern part of North Carolina, I think. And I remember being so angry and pissed because it was late May and almost June, and I was freezing. I was so cold. So, you know, I mean, but that's why I kind of feel like I like it. I like it, over I like it over here better. But it's like being in, like, a couple of years ago, being in Miami. Um, it's really crazy because it was mid-April and it was hotter than the hottest of New Orleans in the summer. I couldn't believe how hot it was. But it was in Miami, it was in April, and ice, it would be hot enough that ice would melt a whole ice chest within, like, you put like two 10-pound bags of ice in an ice chest, and then, like, within 5 minutes later, it's hot water again. I'm not kidding. I'm not over exaggerating. You'd be like, damn. So so I mean, that's the furthest south I ever been. But they have had moments where my hometown, New Orleans, like in 2017, you can go from having in my hometown, New Orleans, in 2017, feeling like, having like a damn near heat stroke in December one day, and then the next day they can have like 30-degree weather that's so cold that you feel like your blood is gonna freeze over, like you're gonna drop dead of freezing to death. But it was strange that in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, the weather One time it was the first time I ever in my life experienced it being cold in August, and I felt like something was strange with that. But before Hurricane Katrina, people thought Hurricane Dennis was gonna kill us all. But we survived Dennis, Cindy, Katrina, and all that. It's like I was still in Costa Rica when they had Hurricane Cindy happen. And then after then we went, got back to New Orleans and still going through Hurricane Cindy. So, you know, everybody feared and knew that, everybody feared and thought they knew that, it's like there was talks about it before Hurricane Katrina even happened that it was going to be this big bad hurricane and that we all were going to die and that none of us were going to get to survive or make it. Look what's going on. So I don't know why. I think it's every Friday that beeping. I'm sorry. The blinking lights. Every Friday morning, this happens. And so that when you see the lights blinking right there, that means that the internet is not working. The internet is not working. So it started last night, and then after that, after it started last night, then it stopped for a little while and the internet started back working again, and I was back to doing this. And then it was flickering really bad with the lights being blue and flickering. And then for a brief moment, sometimes there would be no light at all, like for a few seconds. So they've been vibrating me tonight, and I'm feeling the sleep deprived feeling. And well, it's now April 1st, so I must say that yesterday I felt heavy pressure on my heart all day long. And I think it was, my body needed more sleep. But I didn't even get to take a nap yesterday. But I felt tired enough to want to take a nap at about 2:30. But then I went to go, and I'm glad I got my laundry out of the way. So shortly before I turned on the video, this video. See now, look, it's steady blue now. But shortly before I turned on this video, it was after 2:30, like 2:39 exact a.m. in the morning, and I was startled and frustrated and upset about a loud vehicle blast and loud bass at this time of morning. Like, how inconsiderate and degenerate and reprobate and disrespectful for you to come by a motel complex and startle people out of their sleep, blasting super loud music, loud bass, just no regard for your fellow human. But they don't care. That's why I feel like if you blast loud music at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you demon possessed. You really demon possessed. That you're not considerate of others. And so they vibrated me so bad. Like, I was last night around 9:30, I started to feel really sleepy. And then, I was just laying there. I think I was still on my phone, but then I continued doing some more writing, and then I guess I tried to fall asleep around 12 or 1 something, still couldn't sleep. Then tried again at 2 o'clock. They vibrated me so bad. And then it's like right when my eyes started to close, I started to get into the rapid eye movement sleep. And just before, they vibrated my whole body, and with the most pressure and emphasis on my organs and genitals and my left leg at the moment. And so it's like they wait till I'm in my most comfortable position and start to fall asleep to painfully and violently vibrate me. And now I have Forrest Gump kind of physical energy, to like want to run like Forrest Gump or jump on a bed like the 5 little monkeys. Now I feel kind of like a hyperactive, high energy kind of feeling. And they're still vibrating me, vibrating my stomach, the organs inside my stomach and stuff. In my left arm, they're vibrating for some reason. But they're attacking me really bad and won't let me sleep. And so, now I'm definitely not going to be able to be functional today. And then, if people want to say I'm incoherent because I'm sleep deprived. So, I have errands to run today. And so, the fact that I got errands to run, I don't know if I might have to postpone it until Monday because I'm feeling tortured right now. And, so I mean, I was almost gonna go to sleep, and now I'm feeling tortured and wide awake. And I know the difference between being hit with the directed energy weapons and being or if me feeling a certain pain or discomfort or weirdness, if it's a medical issue, or them hitting me with directed energy weapons. And so so it's like one thing, it seems like narcissistic abusers, whether targeted or perp, they want to try to make it like as if it's like they want to try to use my health as a weapon against me and try to make me more fearful, or make me feel like my death is imminent, or and so trying to make me gaslight myself by trying to tell me, oh, it's something else wrong with your health, that's not directed energy weapons and stuff like that. But in my living situation, it's difficult for me to get to eat the healthy and the nutritious that I want to. And, it seems like the closest to any healthy I can get is, the canned fruits and vegetables that I have. And that's not even healthy, the fake sodium. So, like some of the canned vegetables with sodium in it, like heavy sodium, or canned meats with heavy sodium. I gotta watch out. And it's like when it comes to packaged and junk food or canned foods, it seems like it's very quick and easy to exceed your daily quota for fats, sugars, cholesterol, you name it. So you name it. And sometimes you can exceed your daily limit in one meal. And that's frustrating because I mean, and then if you exceed your daily calorie, I mean, I'm sorry, not calorie, your daily saturated fat intake by just eating a cheap junk brownie that's very tiny, and then you're still hungry later on. So, but like I seldom eat like that much, but it's like in my predicament, as I said, having, you know, not much option to, shop at fake ass Dollar General and spend $20 on, all there's, almost just about everything there is would, be junk food. Or if I order food from Winn Dixie, it'd be like $25 would be all I have, and you know, it's like the meat. Say for example, one week, like a couple of weeks ago, I think it was before the week before I got my stimulus check, and I was sleep deprived mostly all week that week, and I bought some hamburger. I ordered, through DoorDash, and then got it delivered. Some, a pack of hamburger buns and some American cheese and um, some ham, like deli sliced ham, and I think some honey mustard barbecue sauce or whatever, or no, some mustard barbecue sauce. And I had those little donut things, and it's like, so I mean, it stretched me for a while, but it wasn't healthy, and it wasn't healthy, and it caused me sleep deprivation. But you know, bad enough. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't like, sometimes when my food get tampered with, if I order through DoorDash, or if they cheat me out my food or do something dirty or whatever else, you know, or with these restaurants, being a targeted individual. And so I felt like, I wouldn't trust them, to buy fresh produce for me. I felt like, me wanting to get fresh produce, guess I might as well get an Uber or something and pick out the produce myself, you know. So I only got enough for one more week to stay here. I kind of feel like, well, I'll just go and say that, that guy, he's from New York, but now he's now living in Tennessee. But I feel like I do not want to go to Tennessee. I do not want to go move out there. I want to stay here. I really want to get to stay here, But for certain reasons why I can't stay on here, because it will quote unquote violate the doggone, uh, you know, the community guidelines or whatever. That's why I said what I said on my blog. But Um, I can't say it on here why, but people who know what's up and know the truth, you know, they'll have an understanding for, why I would refuse to get back with him, you know. But I can't even skirt around or use code words or give hints. YouTube will still get you. So I just will, say what I said on, on my blog or whatever. But it looks like things are probably going to be just disappointing for me, and I'll probably end up having to be just, stay in this predicament and still stay single. And and so I mean, I would have just enough for one more week to stay here, and then we'll have to try to fight and battle and beg for help to stay here. But people don't care. They're sadistic enough to want me on the streets. And so then so I mean, I'm very mad because I gotta be well rested in order to get to journal and blog and whatever. So I thought that I was gonna get to be sure to fall asleep and get to sleep good tonight. I felt confident because I put at least two um, pinches of Himalayan pink salt in my dinner. And so now, my body and my mind felt like I was sure I was gonna get sleep. But now, no, because they vibrated me on purpose to force me to stay awake. And they're still vibrating me. And it feels like, a cat is purring inside of my body. Or like as if a cell phone is on vibrate and vibrating continuously and nonstop. See? Now it's acting stupid again. So, my nose is a little stuffy right now. But I had a blog topic that, that I wanted to write about. But I'm doggone sleep deprived and can't function. And I can't work on my writing. And so then those same perps will say, well, Candy's a poor writer. Or this, blog that you wrote is poorly written with bad grammar and stuff. Well, stop sleep depriving me. And I can function better and write better. But they want me ruined and destroyed at all costs, and they don't want the truth to be spoken. So I wrote a blog post about my homeless predicament and my health status as well. I mean, but one thing I know for sure. My diet hasn't been able to be that great since being here, because they don't have Publix right across the street like at the other place. But I know I'm not gravely ill, and so and it's like I'm angry and frustrated that I can't freely go take walks like I would want to, and I don't have that freedom to get to take walks. So now I'm pretty sure I gained some weight and I'm not in shape, you know. And I thought about going to walk towards downtown to go run my errands and stuff tomorrow. But, due to me being sleep deprived, no, I said tomorrow, later on today. But, due to me being sleep deprived, it's like I'll be temporarily crippled due to the sleep deprivation and can't that walk a long distance due to the sleep deprivation. And I wanted to, have a moment where I can, you know, eat either breakfast or lunch, wait around for the time to pick up my mail, and hang out and rest and relax near the bay, you know. And but then again, they would perk me there. So I may or may not have to go to the Social Security office to maybe drop off something, but as far as I know, the office is still not open. And so they owe me money. So I mean, so it's like I really hope I won't have to go to the Social Security office tomorrow because I don't feel like it. I keep saying tomorrow, but later today. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I wrote a fiction short story on my blog and entitled it Ninth Grade Day. Because when we were in middle school, ninth grade, was still considered middle school and not high school. So I did like a fictionalized short story reenacting my ninth grade day experiences plus some other school trip experiences. And me trying to be, a little different. It's like the perps try to make it like as if you know I'm supposed to feel guilty. The online perps make it like I'm just such a greedy person who has a sick, weird obsession with food, and that that I'm committing the biggest, dangerous, grave sin by just thinking about food or even talking about it. But they have skinny people who have a career and a life dedicated to food. They have a lot of skinny chefs who ain't fat. You know, so of course they would roll their eyes and give me the side eye and get an attitude again. I mean, add an attitude at me and feel like, well, there she goes putting food to talk about food in her fiction stories. She can't keep the talk about food out of her mouth. And so religious narc perps will try to make it like as if I'm a greedy person whose God is my belly. So or that food and money is her God and stuff like that when you're fat too. So I mean, well, I see some people in their creative dishes and they cook, and if they try something different. So I wrote a fiction short story because I also would have loved to get to have the opportunity to get to write and publish a cookbook. you know, and if I had the right money and resources, you know, I could have been able to eat healthier and lose all this weight. And so, you know, but in my predicament, and me being low on money, you know, it seemed like for me to try to be less of a burden, you know, to spend doggone $25 on like junk food sandwiches, and then it stretched me the whole week or so, and then I end up not feeling the greatest. But I would have loved to, you know, get to eat organic and healthy and a lot of fruits and vegetables and, you know, grass fed meat and raw milk and grass fed butter, pasture raised free range chicken and eggs. But my finances in no shape to get to eat like that, you know. And then when I do, I'm wasting my money. But if I eat the junk food, you know, you want to scare me, you know, try to cause me panic attacks and use fear mongering to make me afraid I'm gonna die soon. So in my short story, I try to be a little creative and different. That I wrote a short story about these kids going like this fictitious high school, and these kids going on a, you know, a day trip at a campground like we did in ninth grade, and but it was a little better in the short story because it was a little bit better in the short story because the kids had in the short story they had, you know, they got to have a fancy gourmet breakfast. We didn't get to have that. But you know, a fancy gourmet breakfast, and then they got to have a relaxing moment if they wanted to go swimming or going to the pool party. I mean, go to a pool party afterwards, or if they wanted to go paddle boating and canoeing or whatever other activity. And and then one of the girls got lost, and the kids couldn't eat until, you know, the girl was found. So within a short period of time, she found her way to where everybody else was, and then everybody ate, and they had a couple of the students. One of the students was singing, and the other student was, you know, cracking a lot of jokes, and then like I put like like for you know, for them to have like a pool party. Well, we went swimming on our ninth grade day in real life, but it wasn't like a fun pool party, you know, with music and all that, or any fancy, you know. I don't even remember if we brought our own food or what. I don't even remember, but anyway. So um I'm a foodie, but I'm a picky eater. But you know, it's like I would love to, you know, be the type of person who like have a blog about food reviews at restaurants and stuff like that. But due to the gang stalking and targeting, you know, the gang stalkers were making like as if I were trying to do food reviews and, you know, trying to get it monetized and stuff. They would make sure I have nothing but bad experiences, and so they were making like, oh well, she's always complaining. So that's something I couldn't even do and make a living off, being, you know, make a living off of being a food critic or a food reviewer or anything like that. and that would be like a fun way, you know, a fun way to get to, make a living. But, and I thought about, like the other day, I felt sad because I'm like, well, why didn't I think of, back then, why didn't it cross my mind when I had a place to, start up a YouTube cooking channel and monetize it? But the perps would have sabotaged and stopped that too, even before I realized that, well, oh, this is part of the gang stalking, or I'm being gang stalked. Then make sure to shut it down. So, I'd be, thinking up some, whether it be junk food or or organic, natural, you know, food combinations or meals or something exotic and different. But like one of the short stories that I wrote called Mama Frida's Family Reunion, or was it another one with like exotic foods from nature and foraging for wild edibles and stuff like that. But you know, so it's like the short story this one that I wrote, I entitled it Ninth Grade Day, just like the field trip. And so, the short story I wrote, called Ninth Grade Day. And so, my experiences on that field trip wasn't that great, and that could be its own YouTube video right there for me to just talk about my experience for the day of the real life ninth grade day. That's something I could do, but I'm not sure if I'll do a video about that. But I don't have the patience to do a whole blog talking about that, But anyway, because I miss, nature, quiet, and peace. I love, swimming. Not allowed to talk about that either. But if I were to end up moving to Tennessee or somewhere, if I had access to swimming in a lake or a river or some other body of water, or hot springs or something, then y'all can make me shut up about the beach, and I can still be happy at, something like that, But I love the beach too. I love the beach, and I love basically any body of water that I can swim in. And my fat ass can lose weight swimming, and losing weight rapidly in the same way as if I would lose weight taking martial arts. But I quit taking martial arts because of occultism and new age and stuff. And once I found that out, I don't take martial arts no more. And I think that when I was in elementary school taking taekwondo, I think I was under demonic oppression. And that in itself was traumatizing. So, so anyway, I'm sorry I'm sounding kind of all over the place because I'm sleep deprived. So anyway, the short story I wrote about, in New Orleans, they would have crawfish boil or crab boil events, more like crawfish boil events where they, or sometimes if people want to have, even if it's just for a meal, they have these crawfish shops, where the seafood place where they'll have crawfish, shrimp, crab, fish, and you can have it that they'll have raw fish or cooked raw fish to take home and you prepare it yourself, or cooked fish that if they might fry it there upon request. And say if you might have fish fries or hush puppies or something, or you might have like a fish po' boy, or you might have they'll have, like, if you wanted to order like 2 pounds of crawfish and a half a pound of potatoes, and and 2 pieces of corn and some turkey necks, and it's like reasonably priced and kind of cheap, and it's very filling. And sometimes they'll sell some praline or something like that, you know. So in the short story, the setting, I didn't put a location, but the setting was not, I didn't picture the setting to be in New Orleans, but I didn't even put a specific location. But I thought, I mean, I talked about in the short story a description of, if there was not a crawfish boil, but like if we did it a little, upgraded a little and have like a lobster boil, but it's like crawfish boil event with the potatoes, corn, turkey necks, instead of lobster, instead of crawfish there was lobster, and then some shrimp and all that, and then for the dessert, oh, and also a fruit and vegetable salad on the side. And then as a dessert, I thought about this idea of as if the kids would have, I do not like bread pudding. I do not like strawberry shortcake. I don't like cooked fruit. And I don't like whipped cream. And I don't like pine nuts. So I thought about this recipe, and I embedded it in the fiction short story. It didn't have like a formula or anything, but it's just ingredients listed. So it was like as if, like how they have strawberry shortcake, but then I thought I was being unique and creative. And when you think you being unique and creative and have your own like little spin on your own idea, and you think about it, and then you talk about it or write about it, and then later on Google search that, and then it's like dozens of recipes, and they're like, damn, they thousands of people beat me to it. So there's such thing as blueberry shortcake too, but I wouldn't eat strawberry shortcake or blueberry shortcake. I don't like that. But anyway, so I I made it like the dessert to be, imagined to be like the cake part of the strawberry shortcake, as a the cake cup, that they hold the filling and stuff in, would be, because I haven't had strawberry shortcake since I was a little kid, because I really do not. I mean, I avoid strawberry shortcake like the plague. I do not like it. I will not touch it. So, and I would die hating strawberry shortcake. I do not like that. So anyway, so I envisioned the idea of if there was bread pudding shaped into the cake part of the strawberry shortcake, and then instead of strawberry filling, it would be blueberry filling, and then topped with whipped cream, and then sliced fresh strawberries. I mean, not whipped cream, Cool Whip, and then sliced fresh strawberries, and then, and also pineapple. I'm sorry, not pineapple. See, that's my sleep deprivation. I meant to say pine nuts. I don't like pine nuts, but strawberries, pine nuts, and caramel drizzle, and confetti sprinkles, and edible glitter. And the kids thought it was a hit, and like they really loved it in the fiction short story. And then everybody packed up and went home, and the kids slept. They were worn out and slept. And then the next day, in the short story, the teacher had assigned the the teacher had assigned for the students to do an English project, like a descriptive English project, and plus an essay on, their trip. But we didn't have to do that, when we were in school. But it's just a thing, in a fiction short story, you know. So, but in the real life ninth grade day, me and my twin sister, I guess we got along that day, and we had this little special moment where it was just us two, and we were paddle boating and canoeing. I don't too much remember the canoeing part, very little, but I very much remember the paddle boating. And but then, um, at the in the real life, at the end of the day, the trip was almost over, and one of the Hispanic kids stole my favorite goggles, and I never in my life got to find any good goggles good like that ever again. Those bastards. So that's like one of my favorite pair of scissors throughout the whole wide world. Had you know, I was they got confiscated in 2005 at the airport, and I was so doggone mad. And I could never find it was like the perfect pair of scissors. I could never find a pair of scissors like that ever again. You know. So, um, that was before I found out that scissors weren't, because of fake ass 9/11. Um, Scissors weren't allowed, on a plane or whatever. But I didn't know. I didn't even realize that, you know. But that was crazy. That was must have been the part of the mind control too. That, well, I can't even say too much. I'll have to go and say it on my blog. That's another blog topic right there. But they wanted you to be like suspicious and scared of any liquid on a plane and stuff like that, because you can be a dangerous, the T word. I can't even, something that targeted individuals are labeled TERR. Yeah, you know that word. So so I mean, I'm annoyed and angry that I cannot get sleep. And so, my anxiety is really high at the moment. And I'm feeling this, high physical energy, and feeling kind of this hyper kind of feeling. And feeling restless at the moment. How do I go from feeling, you know, like as if I'm about to doze off, and feeling like I'm about to hardcore go fall asleep, and then I'm still yawning. Excuse me. I'm still yawning, but feeling wide awake. But my body tricked me into thinking I was for sure going to get to. Like, I thought I was confident. I knew I was going to get to sleep well. But then, as soon as I started to doze off, they were violently vibrating the dog shit out of me. And, now I'm feeling like I got high energy now. After they vibrated me. So, at the moment, I kind of don't have much anything else to say right now, but all I know is I cannot. I mean, I'm sorry if I sound repetitive, but I keep on saying, they're vibrating me. They're vibrating my entire body right now and won't allow me to sleep. This is one of the worst of attacks. Like, what did I say that was? That they must be pissed off or angry, mad at me right now. You know, but me having to go run errands and stuff, I'm mentally fragile at the moment and not ready to, you know, have to brace myself for facing the public and society again. Living like a recluse for weeks, but I prefer it this way. I prefer to, just stay away from everybody and get my peace and quiet, you know. So, yeah, so I mean, between this week and next week, I do not know what's gonna happen, but I kind of feel like I already know the answer, and I'll still, I don't think I'm gonna end up getting back with that guy though, because certain things I can't say on here, and he probably gonna feel hurt. But I gotta do what I gotta do spiritually, and so I mean, as I said, I can't really say too much on here, but if you so happen to have interest in reading my ninth grade fiction short story and the little inspiration behind it, the link is in the description box to my Gangstalk Creole author blog, or you can look on my Ko-fi, Kofi, and look at the most recent post, about the ninth grade day. And then, if you want to, you can go and read it if you want to. But I'm not talking about you perps, you obsessed, delusional stalker perps. I'm talking about, my supporters. So, it's like I'm feeling too tortured and uncomfortable to even try to go back to sleep. But I guess I'll see y'all later.